Hi, my name is Robert Shelley with Shelley Law, and my law firm assists professionals with employment contract and independent contractor agreement issues. Today I'm going to talk about whether signing an offer letter is legally binding. So, if you are looking at a new position at some point as things move forward and the employer decides to offer you the position, it's very likely, although it certainly doesn't happen everywhere, that they'll provide you with a letter that kind of details the broad strokes of the position. So, what your compensation is going to be. So, do you have a base salary? Is it productivity based? Maybe what kind of benefits are offered? Maybe if you have any restrictive covenants, so the non-compete, non-solicit, the basic terms of that, how long the contract is, how much notice you have to provide. I mean, it's usually one page, sometimes two, but no more than that, if it's a true offer letter. And just has kind of the, these are the main things. And then if you're in a position where they're going to follow up with an employment contract or an independent contractor agreement, usually you'll, agree to terms in the offer letter. Then the employer will then incorporate those into an agreement, send it to you for review. Then you look over the full employment agreement or independent contractor agreement and then sign it, and then you're good to go and start. Now, obviously, if you sign an employment agreement or independent contractor agreement, those are binding, right? The whole point of it is to outline the terms of the employment relationship, and both parties will sign the agreement and they are bound to following the terms of the agreement. Now, if you have signed an offer letter, is that legally binding? 99.9% of the time, no, it is not. Unless it explicitly states this offer letter is legally binding, it is not legally binding. And I don't recall ever seeing an offer letter that states that it is legally binding. So what does that mean for you? Well, let's say you've signed an offer letter, you've agreed to the terms of your compensation and benefits and that type of thing. And then you get the actual employment agreement, and maybe some terms in the employment agreement make you rethink whether this job is for you or not. You can always go back and renegotiate the terms that you've already agreed to. Now, is the employer going to like that? Probably not. But plenty of times, they'll just put like a sentence in the offer letter, like 1 year non-compete with 10 miles from your primary practice location. And that's it. You think, okay, well, that seems reasonable. And then you look in the contract and it's not 10 miles from one location, it's 10 miles from every single location that we own in the city or something like that. That certainly would change things. So even if you signed an offer letter, it is very likely not legally binding, and you can go back and renegotiate terms. Now, there may be situations where if you do go back and try to renegotiate terms, the potential employer is just going to say, no, we're not doing that, or perhaps even yank the offer. Now, once again, it works both ways. If they have signed an offer letter, they don't have to follow through and give you the job if something else happens. If you open back up, kind of the negotiation, they certainly could pull out at any time before the employment agreement or independent contractor agreement is signed. If you're in a position where they only provide you with the offer letter and there's nothing else that really follows, then you're kind of free to, you're an at-will employee, very likely, and so you could leave the position at any time with no notice required for any reason. So, is an offer letter legally binding? Very likely not. And you can then negotiate terms even if you've agreed to them in the offer letter. If you have any questions about an offer letter or taking a new position, feel free to contact my law firm at the contact information listed below in the description. And I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks. Bye.